Mengine naweza kuambia itumikaje hapa. Walikuwa napita nikiingia hapa na dakika.
Afanya tundo ni
which one pia capture?
Sawa. Ndio kai. Sawa.
Picha hiyo hata tutueleze like mambo yakoje sasa.
So far, the government has done nothing concerning the arrest of Morara. Only what they are doing is dilly-dallying games here and there, but we have been with them. We have been following their steps so keenly, so that we don't lose the track. But so far, so good. The Kenyans have turned out, and we are behind Morara. Team very strong, and we are strong. The whole Africa.
So, Kitakio, you have been known for not losing, giving up. What are your steps that you are making sure we are putting in place to make sure indeed
one of it is I'm very confident about what Morara is fighting for. So having known that Morara is fighting for justice for Kenyans is my happiness, because justice and humanity has always been. So in this case, I don't need to benefit anything apart from seeing Morara out. But what we have put in place is that we have put a very close watch with the government, and again, we are ready to give out our physical support, emotional support, financial support, and moral support to Morara, so that actually he feels that he is not alone.
So what are the charges do you think Morara will be facing today?
Maybe Morara will face this charge, talking the truth against the government.
So do you think that is an offense in this country?
It's not an offense. It's an offense when it comes to a country that is full of cowardice. It's an offense that it comes to a country that is of anarchy, and it's an offense that when it comes to impunity, but that is leaders who have no moral values in the society. To them it's an offense, but to us it's not an offense, because we are seeing, all of us are seeing whatever is being projected. It's just the bitter truth.
So we are currently being told to wait. We don't know exactly for how long. What are the measures? Like what exactly is happening? What people want to know exactly? Because we are being told to wait.
They are buying time. Probably the government wants to launch something else or wants to divert our attention. But one thing I'll tell you is we have enough time. If they say wait, they have enough time for them. And we will act. And we fear no one, and will not be contradicted, and will not be intimidated, and we are not losing this. Yeah.
You speaking the truth, do you think also, you personally, you might be affected exactly when it comes to being arrested somehow?
Being arrested? I have nothing to lose. So let the government arrest me, but let it stand with the truth. Yes, for the people of Kenya, they can fight. We cannot lose it.
What is the message for people of Kenya? But personally, before we finish, in case the government doesn't release that is Morara Kebaso, yes, what are the steps or measures that you guys need to take?
We close this country, we wrap it up. We wrap the country and we forget about Kenya. Yes, until they release it. The next step is we are closing this country, total shutdown. Yes.
What is the message to Kenyans?
My message to Kenyans is that do not relent, do not give up, do not be intimidated, do not be even, do not be ashamed of coming out to speak the truth. Let us stand as Kenyans and let's fight for our justice, because justice is ours. Okay? We are the face of Kenya right now, because Kenya itself is a crime scene right now, and we don't fear anybody. If it is Ruto, we are the one who elected him, and we are the one who are rejecting him. So if it's about this government of Kenya, let it be wrapped, because it is just doing nonsense. It has no value in this country. No value. Let the country be wrapped off. And if it is a total shutdown, that is what we are putting in place. In fact, the government should know that we are just planning to do that. Yes.
Do you support the impeachment of the deputy?
The deputy should go with the president. Yes. Let them go home.
Imeanza.
Niko ndo wameingia kotini. Acha tujaribu tu.
Ngoja hiyo. Kwa nini imeanza? Imeanza.
Mbona mziingia ndani?
Umeingia?
mimi niko live.
Nani ameingia ma?
Juu hapo hatakubali, acha ni
Hapo mimi.
Hata niona wenzangu.
Wewe kujani Kerui. Kujani mkague. Unaangalia nini yao kama wanakubali.
Lakini kila station anarudiwa wangapi?
Moja moja. Moja moja wasiingie wawili.
Sorry guys, ilibidi niweke simu, nifiche simu because I'm live. Hawaruhusu watu waingie live. That's why.
Kuna kesi nyingine
sana. Hatukubaliwi kuingia. They're refusing people to get inside. They have only citizens there. Bana. Sasa mkata tukiingia tufanye nini?
watu zitasha sita kwa ndani na kurudi kumejaa watu kiingia na
watu wakifanya interview.
atasifanya hapa nje sasa inafaa kesi kisha tukie
So guys, the court, watu wamejaa kwa koti, so tuko nje and they have refused the media to enter inside. We are a lot of media here outside.
Shida ni hii, hao wanataka kutoka, hao wataingia. Itakuwa mvurutano hapo.
Mbaya sana. So guys, we are outside, no entry. So we'll just wait here and see what will happen. So guys, we are still outside.
Not doing
This.
Assistant.
Amekuwa mtulivu sana.
Nje kuna mvua.
Morara bado hajaingia. Bado hajaingia. Morara bado hajaingia. Hajaingia bado. Mwenye ameingia ni Malwa na nani? But Morara bado hajaingia. So guys, we are still outside. Mgani huyu alikuwa anauza huyu? Mgani? Jamani. Huyu ni nani? Hata sijaona. Shida yake.
Alafu ya Morara na Chizere ni kutoa. Yote napenda kwa kutoa.
Kutoa net.
Leo.
Ile kisaidia kwa nini?
Mimi si watafanya bomb tu.
Sorry guys, but we can't enter inside. Zote na mix bana. Mwenye kwa mlango hapo ndo kwangu baba. Anakuja kufanya nini?
Nikiwacha Morara peke yake.
Nakuja juu ya Morara.
Si ndio? Sijakuja hapa juu Kalonzo. Nimekuja hapa juu ya Morara.
Morara bado hajaletwa.
David Morara Kebaso, alias Morara Kebaso Senior. I can volunteer to follow up.
Eventually, they will have to expand this support.
That is a good one.
And I don't think they can expand the equipment and the prisons.
Now we can just waiting for some person to withdraw for the others waiting now.
Morara, Kebaso, Morara, Kebaso.
Please record. Amaka Karoa. For the Morara Kebaso together between Chino Amaro. Honorable Jeremiah Kioni. Asha Bashir. Janta Maina. Dewa Njiro. Oh, sorry, I forgot that we are taking manual. Janja Maina. Dewa Njiro. Eric. Deuri. Mareno. Solomba. Nordin Kakai. Willis Otieno. I hope I have introduced all those that are present. There are more. There is Bishop Edungo.
Present, Your Honor.
Getahi Quincy. Getahi is not present. Who else is present and I have not introduced?
Yes, Origi Waswa.
Patrick. Patrick Nordin.
Present.
Michael Wanyama. Ombongo Charles. Kyoko Mwende. Anybody else have left out? Yvonne Akinyi. Quite, we are ready to take the floor.
So you are the one leading the team?
Yes, I am ready.
So will everyone be speaking or will
If I leave something out, but if I don't, you will appreciate the nature of the case. You know,
okay.
I would not want to down my feelings.
I wish we had more space. Habari yako? Unaitwa nani?
Maybe move a little so that he is properly visible. Thank you.
Which language do you prefer? English.
Your Honor, on behalf of the prosecution, since there's, together with my Undimu, together with my colleague Ms. Naika, Ms. Kerubo, Mr. Kirago, and Ms. Njoroge.
I've not yet seen. Before we hit the clip, I'm going to ask all of you to just aside. Leading that gentleman. Please just step back so that we give you his space. Yes,
Honorable signatory, and afraid that you have not been brought before you. Yet you did the business.
Your Honor, there are two different files. Once we are done with this, definitely will be produced. I don't know why I think they're in the same file. I'd indicated to him there are two different files.
Morara, Kebaso, these are your charges. Your charge is cyber harassment, contrary to section 37 of Computer Misuse and Cyber Crimes, Act number 5 of 2018. David, on the 28th day of September 2024, at Nairobi place within the Republic of Kenya, Judicial Regardless not before court while using export account dumped at Morara, Kebaso Senior, you knowingly, without blocking excuse, posted false information to which I quote, William Ruto approached DL Langat and told him he desperately needs more money for campaign. DL Langat used his property as security and took big loans to help his friend. Right now, DL Langat is being auctioned by banks, and the person who is buying the property is William Ruto. To make it worse, William Ruto has used his powers to undervalue the property to buy them at a cheaper price. That is the kind of a person we are dealing with. He has no friend. Contact whose information you knew to be false and calculated to punish and discredit the reputation of one David Langat. Is it so not true?
Before he pleads, it looks like there's a mismatch in the charge sheet, and that it may not be worthy of pleading to it. So we'll be asking you to reject it under 89. If you look at the charge sheet and the particulars, if at all any name was to be punished, probably it would be that of William Ruto if the particulars were not true. It would not be the name of David Lagat. So what is the fear of putting the name of William Ruto as the complainant? This is a very, and you can see, I don't know how it has been drafted, but if there was a name to be tarnished here, the person who is looking like ungrateful and not quite a friend would be William Ruto. So I'm urging the court to read the charge carefully and reject it, because it doesn't, something is not adding up in this charge sheet. Even if we go to trial on this, and even if David Lagat comes, it will not be sufficient without William Ruto as a complainant.
Yes, Your Honor. Just to be precise on what you answered. Yes, just to be precise on what the senior counsel submitted on, there is no doubt that the particulars of a charge sheet must be able to inform the accused person what he or she is pleading to. And that the particulars of an offense as and that the particulars must speak to the alleged offense. They must clearly square out the subject of the complaint to which our client has been brought to you to plead is one Mr. William Ruto. And therefore, if the offense as drafted does have any meaning in law, to the extent that our client is able to respond either positively or negatively, the particulars must relate to the subject. To that extent, Your Honor, this charge is defective. It's not worth the paper it's written on. And our client is not able to leave it as the particulars do not inform on how he should leave. It does not disclose who is the complainant. Is the complainant Mr. William Ruto or is it P.L. Langat? And this is so important, Your Honor, and fundamentally important and prophetic, in the sense that we shall be requiring the statements of the complainant at the trial or at the fullness of time. So if a charge sheet is jumbled up as it is, Your Honor, it's only causing embarrassment to our client and to this court. That's for you.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes,
it brought before you this afternoon. Asha Bashir.
And so that we don't take a lot of time on this.
Yes, I'm only raising one issue.
Yes, that would not be what we are.
Yes. I'm only raising one issue. That the alleged complainant here is also not a witness. I am wondering how the two police officers will be the witnesses in this matter. Yet the complainant is not. So I humbly submit, like my seniors before me, that this is a faulty charge sheet and should not see the light of the day. Thank you.
Your Honor, I will make a very short statement.
Yes,
I will listen. An accused person under Article 50 under Article 50 of the Constitution, an accused person has a right to be informed in sufficient detail of the charges proposed against him. Sufficient detail. What is presented as a charge sheet if you look at the count 1, it talks of cyber harassment. But look at the particulars. That is where the devil lies. And where the devil lies, it sets out a purported ex post, but proceed to show you where he's sleeping. Content whose information you knew to be false and calculated to tarnish and discredit the reputation of one David Lagat. This speaks, Your Honor, to a question of reputation, not harassment. And if it is reputation, it's defamation. If David Lagat or William Ruto thinks that this post has injured their reputation in the eyes of right-thinking members of the society, their recourse is in the civil court. They sue for defamation. And criminal defamation is no longer applicable in our legal system. So that if the particulars presented before your Honor
Mr. Otieno?
Yes.
We don't know whether they are going to be reporting this one with blood pressure. So you need just to check on your voice so that
and we don't like the butterfly. I know sometimes I sting like a bee. The butterfly. I'm not inject. So, Your Honor, that's all I do. The particulars disclosed in the charge sheet speak to defamation, which is a civil wrong. The count in the charge sheet speaks to cyber harassment. There's disconnect in the two. So will Mr. Morara be required to respond to the count of cyber harassment or the particulars of defamation. That charge sheet, Your Honor, should not be registered at this particular point. And the state can advise the complainant that in relation to reputation, the Chief Magistrate's Court Milimani exists, civil division. You can go there. In relation to cyber harassment, the complainant should come with better particulars, not these ones. So having dissected those two, the particulars of the charge and the count on the charge sheet, Your Honor should exercise your discretion and refuse to register this charge as presented before you, and direct that Mr. Morara to be set free forthwith, unless otherwise lawfully detained. So this is prejudicial at the outset. That's all.
Very kind permission. Just a moment. If I write everything, if I say the wrong thing.
That's what justice is about. That's what it means.
That's the challenge with us lawyers. We respond to what we don't know. We don't know what I'm going to say. So I'll be writing manually because we have not set up the gadgets. We didn't know this case of this kind coming today. So now, just for your information, because now the gadgets have been set up, I will now not be writing. But please, when you speak, say your name at the beginning and use a microphone. So we'll have them transcripted.
You know, it's a very kind permission with the matter is from my Morara, and I wish to grant the court's explanation. You know, I'll pick it up from where my learned senior Mr. left it, and urges to go straight to Article 25 of the Constitution on rights that cannot be limited, Your Honor. One of the rights that cannot be limited, and while all other rights can be limited, is the right to fair trial. You know, that is under Article 25C of the Constitution. Very quickly, Your Honor, I will, with ability, invite the court to read that together with the provisions of Article 52B, which my learned senior, where my learned senior left. 52B, Your Honor, is about the right of the accused person to be informed of the charge in sufficient detail to answer it. But, Your Honor, what has come out in the few minutes before, 50 sub-article 2B. Your Honor, it talks about what fair trial, all that is under Article 52, from 2A all through to 2, I believe, J. 52A all through to 50Q, Your Honor, is what constitutes fair trial. Such that, Your Honor, we stand before you this morning or afternoon, the accused person is clearly not able to understand, Your Honor, what is responding to that. This is a provision, Your Honor, or this is a right, Your Honor, which cannot be limited. I invite court to find basis on those two articles, Your Honor, reject the charge that have been read out. That's all from you.
I'll leave the floor to my lawyer.
Yes, Your Honor, I just wanted to say one or two things. Yes, Your Honor, my name is Eric Fury. Your Honor, you've been referred to articles to refresh what has been stated. But Your Honor, so that you are not told that this court cannot deal with the questions of constitutional interpretation. Then I also wish to refer this court to the Criminal Procedure Code, and I would want to make reference to sections 135 with regard to the framing of charges. Section 135 with regards to the framing of charges. And Your Honor, it underpins the constitutional requirement that an accused person is entitled to sufficient information to be in a position to respond to the charges that are made against that person. Your Honor, second, you have the jurisdiction and the discretion under section 89 of the CPC to decline these charges if you are of the opinion, and Your Honor, we persuade you to be of this opinion, that the charge sheet before you does not, insufficient material, disclose a case to enable the accused person to take a plea. Your Honor, I'll finally say, and I think I have said this before, if we continue at this rate, we will have to seriously expand this court. Because, Your Honor, what it would mean is that any statement that a person can make under the free speech that is guaranteed in this country. Sometimes, yes, I can say something that can be offensive, but does that constitute a crime? It's the danger that we face in this kind of touching. And Your Honor, for those reasons, and being that these courts are temples of justice, there are games that can be played out there. And Your Honor, I think it is also important for me to say that this court has recognized, and the High Court, I think, has recognized the manner in which of late police have been conducting their arrests by way of abduction of those people they consider to be suspect. There is actually an order of the High Court that has directed that the police must comply with the law when it comes to effecting arrest. So when someone is abducted, like the accused was abducted, in clear contravention of a court order, and then he's brought here for the court to sanctify the actions, the illegal actions that have been undertaken. And the attempt to sanctify, Your Honor, those actions does not meet what is contained in our laws in terms of the kind of charges that should be presented and accepted before the court. Your Honor, this court must remain what it is supposed to be, a court of law. We may not be able to stop the police in the manner in which they are behaving, but they must be a place where they know that they can play their little games outside there with the lives of each and every one of us, because it basically means that no one is safe. I can make a statement that it is deemed criminal. Let them know that those games will not be entertained within the corridors of justice. And so, Your Honor, I plead with this court that we must take all the circumstances of this case, and the circumstances of this case then explain the paucity in the charge sheet as has been presented before.
I think there was emergency of emergency, and it's important that the court directed on this.
Do we call for a short adjournment so the court is clear and the person has care? They need a short adjournment.
There are some other rooms on the other side that are bigger and more. No, this is the biggest. Wampeleke the other
Thank you. Your Honor, it is the last time we appeared in the court over this matter. The court had to buy me microphone. I was avoiding that because I don't want it to go on record. But it looks like, I mean, at a certain point, we may really need to think about fasting and whatever in the manner that we are. But Your Honor, what I was saying is that the circumstances of the arrest then demonstrate why. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. So my final point was that even though it might appear to be an overreach, but this court must look at the circumstances of the arrest, and it will be able to understand that the intention here is for this court to be a conveyor. We abducted him, we were unable to. So, Your Honor, what I was saying is that this court is intended to be a conveyor. We abduct or we arrest without any probable cause. We look for any reason and we present a charge sheet and place it before the court. And the court then is supposed to be the one to sanctify, because Your Honor, the moment you accept this charge, and I think if it was a proper charge, we would have no problem, even though we would have known it is finished. But the problem here is that, Your Honor, if you accept this charge sheet, especially as it is fair, and then even this court will eventually almost be on trial the way our police are on trial. Your Honor, for that reason, I'm noting that Mr. Morara had a young counsel that he had instructed. I would ask that you allow Mr. Salonka to just say one more thing, and then I know all of us would want to say something. I'm being reminded is also a
Please, Your Honor, my name is Marema. I humbly and really appreciate the recognition of my land seniors, and I thank them for the knowledge that I've received in the past. However, there's one small thing that we haven't touched. And briefly, that's to do with the framing of charges under Section 134 of the CPC, as read together with Section 135 of the Criminal Procedure Code, which dictates in mandatory terms that a charge must contain a statement of the specific offense in which the accused is charged, and enough information to demonstrate the nature of the offense. Much has been said about civil defamation. However, in brief, Your Honor, if you see count, it refers to cyber harassment under Section 27 of the Computer Misuse and Cyber Crimes Act. However, when you read the particulars of the offense, specifically line 4, knowingly without lawful cause, knowingly without lawful excuse, posted false information. That is another offense under the Computer Misuse and Cyber Crimes Act. Specifically Section 22 of the Computer Misuse and Cyber Crimes Act. If you go on further, Your Honor, they repeated the statement, false, again. And then lastly finished with calculated to tarnish and mislead. calculated to tarnish and discredit the reputation of one David Morara. So, Your Honor, in brief, the question is Morara answering to the charge of cyber harassment or to the charge of publishing false information or civil or defamation? Your Honor, in brief, as I associated both my learned senior counsel Eric Thori stated, I was with Morara when he was being arrested. The police refused to grant me access under Article 49, and there are orders that have been given by the High Court that the police ought to respect and ought to follow Article 49 of the Constitution. Some of those orders I personally obtained them from the High Court. Additionally, they did not disclose why they were arresting him or who they were. Some of them were masked. So, Your Honor, the question is, we are dealing with people.
Sorry. We might all of us end up fainting here. So please, just a request that you allow me to manage the crowd. I'm going to request everybody after the gentleman in the big camera. We're just going to ask you kindly to step out of the room. Otherwise, we don't raise the Please, you can listen from outside. We have speakers. So you'll be able to so now, if you have problems with that, we just have to wait. Because help comes first. Please. But I want to see you counsel speaking.
Oh yes, Your Honor. So
because you can get, so many of us are sweating. You can get the smell of sweat. Very soon it all comes.
Yes, Your Honor, I'll be brief. Your Honor,
How many more minutes will you take?
3-4 minutes.
Okay, please.
Your Honor, in brief, what we are witnessing here as a country is the weaponization of the criminal judicial process against a young man who, against all odds, stood up to speak the truth. And the truth has hurt many people who are currently in power. That truth has altered the status quo.
Sorry, you are not a witness. You are yet to take plea.
But in brief, Your Honor, history is being made, and I invite this honorable court to stand on the right side of history by quashing these charges and releasing the accused person on personal bond. He is a young person, he is a young person. To release, to free him completely, discharge him. And lastly, as his personal lawyer, I want to thank him for actually believing in a young person. Fellow Gen Z, Your Honor. Fellow Gen Z. And we will stand with him to do that.
May the court afford exactly 1.5 minutes. My name is Achille Bradley. It's a privilege to appear before you, Your Honor, in this matter. And just to add to what has been said, the constitutional justification for the cause of action we are requesting you to take. If you look at Article 24, it is a balancing act that the court must strike. And the court must look at the least restrictive alternative. In this case, Your Honor, there is an alternative for the complainant. That alternative is called the Defamation Act. it's sufficient to address any reputational damages. And so there will be justice for the complainant, whichever, if you make the decision we're requesting you to make. And the other one is in Article 23A. That article obligates this court to adopt Article 20 Subarticle 3A. You know, this court cannot interpret the Constitution. That jurisdiction belongs to the High Court. However, this court, as a constitutional organ, must apply the Constitution. And when you look at Article 23A, it requires this court and all tribunals to adopt the interpretation that most favors the enjoyment of rights. In this case, Morara's right to freedom of speech, especially on these issues he's talking about. So, Your Honor, there's sufficient legal basis for you to find that this charge does not disclose a criminal case, and that the remedy, alternative remedy of defamation is sufficient. Thank you so much.
Your Honor, perhaps before the prosecution responds.
Just a minute, Mr.
Only one about the charge sheet, because it will become relevant for them in response. Only one. Perhaps, Your Honor, to just disclose the bad faith in which this matter has been instituted. That the charge sheet itself is indicating erroneous dates when our client was arrested. We say that they arrested him today. And the fact is that they arrested him yesterday. They have a duty to disclose all the material facts, and there is a reason why the CPC requires a date of arrest to be indicated on a charge sheet. Eventually, Your Honor, when you seek to retire, kindly order the DCI office, and this is the DCI himself, to release 3 phones and 1 laptop belonging to our client, as it is charged him. Most obliged.
Even though we just have a brief response, maybe it will just start off it's the first time I'm seeing Mr. Ndegwanjiru very calm. So it is unlike him. Your Honor, just in brief response, in terms of arrest, it is true the accused person was arrested yesterday and has been produced in court within the required time limit.
Your name for the record?
Undimu. And has been produced in court within the required time limit. In terms of access to counsel, I did confirm with the officers that he was allowed access to counsel, and the counsel who was allowed was Mr. Ndegwanjiru. And in fact, Mr. Ndegwanjiru did appear at our office today morning. They confirmed that the charge sheet will be brought. He was accompanied by 2 other counsels, though they declined my tea invitation. Your Honor, in terms of the charge sheet, the CPC is very clear that a charge sheet must contain 2 critical elements. That is the statement of the offense and the particulars of the charge. Your Honor, my colleagues, my senior colleagues and junior colleagues have not disputed that there is a statement of the offense and the particulars. The contention, especially my senior colleagues have raised, is what is harassment? Your Honor, I look at that particular act, the Computer Nuisance and Cyber Crimes Act. It does not in any way define what harassment is. Harassment takes various forms. One, to draw a conclusion that harassment has occurred. The particulars in the charge I have clearly informed the accused person of the accusation that he is facing. And what my colleagues are asking me to do is to go to the substance and the merits of the charges, to go to the evidential material. As at this point, Your Honor,
just one.
As at this point, what court ought to consider that the particulars of the charge have sufficiently informed the accused person of the accusation against him, which in our humble view are sufficient to enable him respond to the charges. To delve into other issues, Your Honor, would be going to the merits and demerits of the particular matter. I do understand the constitutional issue that have been raised by my senior colleagues. And those issues cannot be raised as at this point. The only purpose we are here for today is purposes of the charge sheet, whether it has statement of the offense and the particulars of the offense, and other considerations. Refer this court to section 137 of the CPC. Your Honor, on the last point that Mr. Ndegwa has raised, on the issue of the 3 phones and 1 laptop, I undertake to follow up the issue with the investigating officer to find out if they are interested in the material or the same should be released to the accused person, and undertake to inform him before the closure of business today as to what the response of the investigating officer has been. Luckily, I have Mr. Ndegwa's number. And also Mr. Eric Deuri. Surprisingly, the squatter from Mtwapa has not spoken. I'm sure he'll respond.
My colleague from the DPP, let the record reflect that my name is Morara. Law Society of Kenya Vice President. Vice President, I joined at the end. Thank you so
I only respond to the issue of the charge sheet. The other issue are more constrained, as at this point this court only ought to consider whether the statement of the offence meets the legal criteria and whether the particulars of the offence have contained sufficient details. And I've gone through the issue of the harassment.
Yes, Martha Karua, SC, leading the defense team. Just to remind the court that our plea is that the charge be dismissed or rejected as defective under 89.5 of the CPC. Our submissions by the various councils point to that direction in adequate words. And it is important that the court only invites the accused to plead to a charge that discloses a course of action. And we have shown the mismatch between the offense charged and the particulars. I need not go beyond that. But when you retire to make a ruling, should you require more time, we urge you to consider releasing Mr. Morara, who is, I'm informed, is an officer of this court, on a personal board. He is, I'm informed he's not an officer of the court, but he is a person who is well known, has a fixed abode in town, and he is not a flight risk. You may consider releasing him on a personal bond, because we must not encourage the behavior of the police of punishing people in advance of appearing before the court. By punishing, I mean detention, unnecessary detention. He is a person who can actually be released on free bond. And we are many, and we will make sure he appears.
I think that will bring it to a close. So you want to believe in this part?
That will be the best approach, but you understand that you may have to read and do some research, and it may not be possible. That is why my learned senior counsel Martha asked that if that be the case, we can ask Mr. Morara to be admitted to free bond, and as his counsel we
So
undertake.
Mr. Tieno, now you're out of one. The environment is not conducive. I think I should release it now.
Yes.
The best way to do that is to preserve the ruling.
Will you still come tomorrow?
Hata kitu.
Usikanyage bagi yangu. Usikanyage bagi yangu.
Senior counsel, what does your plan to do? Or what terms would you consider appropriate?
He is a businessman, and he is a very well-known
active and engaged citizen.
That's funny.
And he's also a lawyer waiting to be admitted. I actually thought he was already admitted. That's why I'm saying officer.
So you can afford cash bail of 1 million.
Yeah.
$1 million. That's in order. Otherwise,
how much cash bail is he able to
Your Honor, maybe Your Honor, just before you turn off, my colleagues have made submissions on the issue of bail. I just wanted to go on record that we are not objecting to bail. Maybe on condition that my Vice President ensures that he reports to the investigating officer whenever he is required.
So today is first. What has to sleep tomorrow? You come on 3rd of October. Sorry, no, 3rd of October. You come tomorrow at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Yes.
Is that Thursday?
Tomorrow is Wednesday.
Oh, okay. The court, Your Honor is proposing Thursday the 3rd or tomorrow the 2nd?
Morning. Sorry, the 3rd of October.
Would we go to 4? Would we go to 4 that will give you enough time? In the morning.
See, I'm already confused. So, looking on the application to be delivered on 4th of October this year at 2 p.m. Morning. I know what I'm saying too. I have a very long hearing at the moment. And the accused person is granted cash bail of Kenya shillings 50,000 with one contact person to appear before the court on 4th of October this year.
Why not
Contact just comes with a name.
May I just take this opportunity on behalf of all the advocates to thank the court for the indulgence. And of course, I must recognize that my good friend, Mr. Ndimu, although he sneaked into town and has not yet performed the usual rituals for us to welcome him into Nairobi, has behaved as graciously as he always has. We understand that they are operating under very difficult circumstances. We pass to them. But, Your Honor, we want to just say thank you for your indulgence, and we'll see you on Thursday.
Thank you. Okay, you are ready. We are still here, so if you feel like moving out, please do so peacefully.
hapo kuna vitu fungue kama tunatoka wewe malizia tu na wewe hata kama utamalizia anatoka nje
Sorry guys, I was shaking because we had a lot of people, so I could have
wife wake sasa.
Let's go outside. Let's go outside.
Ongea, unasikika?
Ndio tumetoka kotini kukaa na president wetu 2027 na tumemaliza kesi, imetupiliwa mbali sababu hiyo charge sheet ilikuwa ya ufala, lakini tuko naye hapa kwa hapa. Anatoka sasa hivi. Tuko naye hapa. Na vijana wa Kenya lazima tukae kijana mwenzetu, wazee wajipange na wazee wao. Hatuna haja na kesi nyingine, yetu imeisha, yao tunatoka nje.
You have been there with us, so we appreciate you. 50,000 cash bail is very small money. We're going to raise that right now, and then we are going to process the bail, the bail right now, and Morara is going to be out. Then we will be back here on Thursday at 2 p.m. So stay put, be there for any support that is needed. Let us work together to ensure that we fight impunity to the very end. Thank you, and we love you. We love you guys.
Thank you. Kenya, whenever you're given a charge sheet, look twice. Only one thing that I highlighted, the date was wrong. They arrested him the day before today, and they are requesting the court to give them some time to go and write. We forgot we arrested him yesterday, so today was a wrong date indication, of which it was done by Mr. Amin himself. So the case has been thrown out. Hata hiyo 50,000 ya maji tu tumeona
wakubwa wamekaa hapo sana, isikuwe tu madharau, lakini it has been thrown out, so he will be here in a few. He's the one we are waiting for. Okay,
but also, yes. But also for the comrades who have come to stand in solidarity with the Morara Kebaso, we are for you. We stand with you. Viva! We stand for Morara because he is our choice. He speaks on behalf of many people in this country, Kenya.
We are going to sue this court.
Yes.
Because it has not observed the hygiene. There is the disposal of waste matter, water, soapy water and plastics within the corridors of the courts.
Even toilets.
Broken windows everywhere, endangering our lives, the lives of the lawyers and the judges. So we are going to sue this court as well because of not observing environmental hygiene.
So let the guys remain vigilant. Remain vigilant. It is not over until it is over. We are on a mission. We are on a mission. 2027 ama kesho kutwa. Biashara viva vijana viva. Viva. That's what we stand for. Nataka kushukuru majenzi na na Wakenya wote kwa kusimama imara kijana mwenzetu Morara. Na mimi niliambia Morara wakikushika ndio wanakumake. Sasa hiyo wamekumake, tupige rali moja hii town, tunyamazisha wanasiasa wakubwa sababu hao ndio wanatuletea shida. Mimi nataka kuambia vijana tumshikilie 2027 ikifika tumweka hapo mbele. Tuweza kuhakikisha kwamba watu wameenda nyumbani. Asanteni sana.
Hello guys. Asante sana every lady when umejitokeza kuja kwa hii barabara. Najua unajali kizazi chako cha kesho. Kitu ninapenia watoto wetu saa hii guys. Kitu ninapenia mabwana zetu saa hii. Wanawake wote msimame. Wanawake wote wenye mmejitokeza, mimi nawapatia mkono. Wanawake wote msimame, tuendelee kushikana kama ile kitu. Tushikane wote tutoke. Watoto wetu are not safe guys. Bruce is our brother. They are not safe. Morara is our brother. Morara is someone's husband. Ni baba ya mtu. Wanawake wote endeleeni kujitokeza. Mimi nitakuwa najitokeza, wanawake tushikane, tutoke nje, tukuje kwa barabara, tutetee haki zetu, tutetee watoto wetu. Tutetee watoto wetu kwa mambo yote yenye yanafanyika guys. Thank you very much na mbarikiwe.
Asante sana. Ninaposimama hapa naongea kwa ajili ya Morara, nasema huyo ndio anatosha na anatosha kuwa rais wa Kenya, anatosha kukalia hiyo kiti. Hata saa hii huyo rais aende mafichoni mali anataka kupeleka watu. Wanaopeleka watu hawana hatia. Jameni, mnachukuliwa, mnapangiwa njama. Hii serikali ni kikosi ya kutengeneza pesa. Jueni kuna Mungu, tafuteni Mungu, achaneni na pesa. Mnachukuliwa mtu kama njoo, mnaandamana siku mbili, mnachukuliwa njoo, hakuna utajiri, anaweza simama pale Likoni apeane pesa kutoka asubuhi mpaka jioni. Hiyo pesa yake itaisha, na ndipo unaona unashikwa Mombasa hati na ningaba na lagushika, unashikwa ni watu hati unafunguliwa mbuti, unaangaliwa nyuma na wewe ni mwanaume, na ni wanaume wenzako wanakuangalia nyuma. Unasahau ni kazi ya Mwenyezi Mungu, unafanya ya shetani, na ya Mungu ikiwa mingi ya kufanya. Hamuwezi kumsikubali mambo kama haya. Msikubali nchi yetu inaliwe ni maumbwa tukiona. Msikubali tuite Mungu wa barini. Sisi tunaita Mungu wa Danieli na wa Jakobo, na tunajua ako iwai, na tunasimama imara ako iwai. Bwana wa Juda wako, tunajua wako kweli. Hatutakaa ile maisha ya Kaini na Abeli. Sisi hatuko jangwani, niko shua hatuko jangwani. Ile anointing tunapakwa inafanya kazi. Ile anointing tunapakwa inafanya kazi. Mimi nasema mtu mali aliposimama katiba pembeleo yake.
Sina makosa, wataka kuniua bure. Sina makosa afande. Ruto si wako, nami si wangu. Chukia nini kati yangu mimi na wewe? Afande.
Ayo mama, ayo mama,
ayo mama,
ayo mama, ayo mama,
ayo mama, ayo mama,
ayo mama,
ayo mama.
Zakayo asikie, mapinduzi yaja Kenya, Nagashagwa asikie,
Nagashagwa asikie,
mapinduzi mapinduzi yaja Kenya,
mapinduzi yaja Kenya.
Ayo mama, ayo mama,
Ayo mama,
ayo mama, ayo mama,
ayo mama, ayo mama,
ayo mama,
ayo mama.
Ukombozi tutaupata vipi? Tulinde haki za binadamu. Nipe jibu la fumbo hili mama, ewe dada, hata na wewe ndugu, ewe dada, hata na wewe ndugu. Viva comrades, viva! Viva! Viva comrades, viva! Viva! Forward with the struggle, forward! Forward with the struggle of the people, forward! Long live the struggle, long live! Long live the defiant spirit of Morara, Kebaso, long live! Long live! Forward with the struggle, forward! Forward with the struggle, forward! Down with the arbitrary arrest, down! Down with the arbitrary arrest, down! Down with the Ruto regime, down! Down with the Ruto regime, down! Forward with the people, forward! Long live our women, long live! Long live our people, long live! Forward with the struggle, forward! Forward with the struggle, forward! We are just telling William Ruto, kindly leave us alone. Yes. You are holding this country at ransom.
Leave your office.
You are holding this country at ransom. What we are just requesting you, humbly resign. We want free elections. Because whatever you have done to our people, whatever you have done to our brothers and sisters, shall go down in history. And history shall not forget. History shall keeps reminding us that Dedan Kimathi was killed. And history shall still remind us that Rex Masai was killed, fighting for justice of this country. History shall remind us that Morara Kebaso was arbitrarily abducted in his office.
Yes.
What have we done to you, William Ruto? What have we done to you? It is our civic and revolutionary duty to oversight whatever is going on in this country. And that is what we are doing. We are just keeping you in check. But now it turns out that keeping you in check is like a criminal activity. Sending DCI to our houses to abduct us, to kill us, because it will go down in history. Viva comrades, viva! Viva comrades, viva! It will go down in history, and we shall not forget that Denzel was thrown in Atakware. What do you think that the family is feeling right now? Fighting for the justice in this country is very expensive. It has cost us lives. And even if it means you're gonna kill us, if they kill us, so our children will kill them. If they kill us,
our children will kill them.
If they kill us,
our children will kill them.
Just to remind you
them before they kill us.
Viva comrades, viva! Viva! We are here saddened by the activities of this regime. We are saddened by the killings of this regime. That when you come out to advocate for what is right, the police are used to throw tear gas canisters at you. The police are used to kill you. We saw the other day at Multimedia University how police handled a student who had already surrendered to the police. Mr. President, Mr. Ruto. Viva comrades, viva! I say that because I want to withdraw. I withdraw to the people of Kenya that William Ruto is not our president.
He's not. Don't mention that. Tuko tayari kwa mapinduzi. Tuko tayari. Tuko tayari kwa maandamano. Tuko tayari. Tuko tayari kwa maandamano. Tuko tayari.
One thing we want to tell the governor of Mombasa. Wewe unafira watu. My friend, tunakuja Mombasa. Wacha tumalize hapa. Tunakuja Mombasa. Tunakupata huko. And Mr. Ruto, we want to tell you, there is one question as the young people we have already answered. Tuliulizwa, can we die for our country? Yes. There is a second question. It is coming. We are coming. The second question is coming, and it is difficult, and we know the answer. Our answer is yes. We are ready to die for our country, and we are ready to do the other things for our country. Wewe Mombasa, wewe tunakuja. I have one thing. Ruto must go. 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 I have one thing to say. Say true. Let this be the last abduction in Kenya today. If another abduction, if they come to abduct us, we will deal with them as criminals. Thank you. Guys, whatever I say, you say must go. Ruto must go. Adani must go. Chief must go. Must go. Good. We will not stand by as our country is taken hostage by criminals while they preach to us about the Constitution. William Ruto and your cronies, you lied to us that IEBC will be formed in 30 days. It has been over 45 days. We want to pick our ID cards. We want to take voters' cards so that we can make sure you do not sit on that seat in 2027. And now, once they release our brother Morara, we will be ready to go to the streets and reject Chief. We will reject Comrades Power. Comrades Power. A short man is not a boy. A man wearing a kanzu is not a woman. Yes. So we are going to fight for our country. We as the youth, tuko na wazee, tuko na vijana, tuko na kina mama, na tunapigana kutoka sahi mpaka mwisho kabisa. Tuko na katiba na katiba itatupigania. Tutetea katiba mpaka mwisho. This guy should understand one thing. Ours, we are not dealing with the issue connected with Gachagua and whatever. Mambo ya Gachagua na Ruto, dereva Makanga kufa, dereva Makufa. Sisi tunataka nyinyi wote ondoka mamlakani. To pave way for the 60 Morara Kebaso. That's why we are here as the citizens of this republic. Secondly, members of parliament of Kenya, we don't cover Ruto because we are President William Ruto. As we stand with the people, we remain with the people. People will have peace. Those comrades who died will have peace if we fight to the end and ensure we achieve whatever was in our programs. So guys, people of Kenya, let's be united. Mambo ya tribalism kando. Since we have one language, yes, we go much forward irrespective of where you come from. We stand as Kenyans. That's what we are looking at, and that's the Kenya we want through the 6th Morara Kebaso, and that's the writing on the wall. Thank you.
Mimi naja hapa nikisema hatutaki kuambiwa tumetenga tena ni mwizi, hatutaki kuambiwa tumeweka mabilioni tena ni mwizi, haiendi kwa maendeleo ya watoto wetu, haikuji mashinani kwa watoto wetu, inawekwa kwa mifuko ya wakora ya wajuma. Ili mtu kama ameseka lesere anaweza kupandisha bibi ya mtu ndege ili kulipia na pesa yake, alilipa ndege na pesa ya mali ya umma. Kweli ya marongo. Kama ni pesa yako ameseka lesere, ulilipia huyo bwana mke ndege ukaenda na yeye ngambo, kuja usimame wimba kama venye nimesimama hapa kusema hiyo pesa ilikuwa yako, ni jasho yako, ulifanya kazi mzee. Hatutaogopa, hatutaishi kutishwa ni askari. Hata sisi ndio tumefanya askari akuwe kazi, sisi ndio tumefanya vaa uniform. Hiyo pia kazi unarusha, unafaa uitunze vizuri kwa Mkenya wa kawaida, uitunze vizuri na hiyo uniform unavaa. Kama uelewi, mimi nasema hata askari wa jela ndiye anavaa lipo mshahara mingi kuliko MCA. Hata askari wa jela yule anaangalia mfungwa yanavaa lipo mshahara mzuri, ina make sense. Na nasema na nitasema tena na tena, hakuna vile nchi inaweza fanywa ni wanasiasa ikuwe nchi. Kuna viongozi hizi zimeongoza nchi, hizi ni umwa hizi. Nasema ukweli, itasimama imara. nimwambie hizi ni umbwa au si viongozi? Hizi ni umbwa, na anzeni kutafuta viongozi kuanzia sasa, na mtawajua. Anzeni kutafuta viongozi, hawana ukweli, hawana uongo, wako na ukweli. Na hata kama ni wa Meru, tamwambia Kawera Mwangaza, tunakuja na Chief Justice ametoka Meru Methekome, hakuna kona ujui Meru, tutatembea na wewe, utaambia kama amefanya kazi gani, kama anadhulumiwa, kama ni ukweli anasema. Sisi tunasema hivyo. Asanteni wazee. Asanteni Wakenya wenzangu.
Wale watu wanazuia watu wetu town.
Bita ameona uchafu akakasirika.
Kuna watu wetu wamezuiwa town. Tunaendea hao watu. Tia gazi lazima irushwe.
Nimechoka lakini mimi naweza finya. Siogopi. Ambia watu. Sasa wafanye hivi. Fanye hivi. Mimi waje naambia. Wewe, mimi hata sina kitu ya kuambia media. Naambia hizi mbweha, hii government. Government ni ya mbweha tu.
Wamechoka. The ruling is quite fair because the charge sheet itself was the dates were not matching the day when he was arrested. That means that is something that has just been put immediately so that to impress the court that there is a charge sheet that has been produced before the court or before the judge himself. So they looked at it and indeed the dates were not proper. At the same time, the allegations that it's defamation, it's not a defamation aspect of it. It was just but what we call character questioning. When you question a character of a person, doesn't mean that you are defaming them. So it was all miscellaneous, and that's why the court has thrown it out. They were suggesting 1 million bond, but it has gone down to 50,000, of which it has been solved, and it's just a matter of minutes. Then we will see Morara Kebaso out.
Labda tu as we see tunaona kuna reaction watu wameanza kujaa pale katika gate ya kuingia kotini. Labda watu maoni yako ni
wengi walikuwa wamezuiwa kando huko nje kwa sababu labda walikuwa wanaona kutakuwa na insecurity issues. That's why wakafungiwa, but we thank God that most of them are here now. We are a good number. And this just shows love and oneness, the unity that we have as Kenyans. And I'm happy. Like, hata kama wameshow up late, at least wamekama. Yeah.
JB, before you uondoke, kuna watu wanauliza usemi wako kuhusiana na chenye kinaendelea Mombasa.